Hello, everyone. It is another episode of What's Up, Doc, in our favorite segment with our favorite grandfather. What's up, Paw Paw?
What's up?
How you doing?
Oh, I'm feeling much better.
I'm happy about that. I got a question for you, Paw Paw.
What is your question?
Um, there was a big push. For voting and political involvement, but we should be doing a whole bunch of stuff before elections. So we're so busy talking about what other people should be doing, but what about what we should be doing during this period before elections so that we're prepared for elections?
Election is just not a one-day thing. That is the mistake of 90%, if not higher, of the American people. Election day is a 365-day a year, 24 hours a day, which you have to study. The reason why they took all of this stuff out of school to dumb our next generation down. I went over a segment where I told you where all the things I studied in high school, now they in trade school and regular university. I got that stuff in high school. And so what they did was, and let me stop saying they, the wealthy and the power, the one who seeks power and to keep it, they care nothing about the American people. Absolutely nothing. They never have and they never will. When they wanted to murder the aborigines of this country, they put on makeup and say they did it. Nobody looked at it and researched it. Nobody tried to understand the Native American. They just went by what the wealthy and the powerful said, and they was manipulated, and we spend our lives for them, and we don't enjoy none of the freedoms that they say we have. Notice I say they say we have. We have never had any of the freedoms that they say we have. And the reason is because our laziness, our failure to look into who's voting, where this person come from. How do you expect for a man to think like you think that didn't come from nowhere close to where you come from in your social culture setting? They don't care. If they don't care, and I mean the rich and the powerful, the ones who look for the power, if they don't care about their own people, what I mean by their people is people in the same tribe, white people, different kinds. How do you expect them to care for other social culture settings? They're not going to do it. You have to look at the history. You have to vote in people that's going to look at the history. You have to look at more than one thing. That's why it's not a one-day thing. You have to look at how they got the lines drawn to get elected and develop a strategy to influence or educate those people in that sector. All you say, I don't care. And you know how the white folks is. You know how the black folks is. You know how the Muslim is. You know how the Indian is. All of that crap. We are the most blessed nation on the face of the earth. And let me tell you why. You don't have to travel outside of the United States to meet anybody in the world. Everybody in the world is in America. That's the beauty of it. Now, whenever you have the beauty of something, there's another side to it. It also can become exploited by the rich and the powerful, by pitting you against each other. The red, the blue, the poor, the white, the brown, the Muslim, the Catholic, the Baptist, all of that foolishness. So there's a weakness in your strength. But if you sit back and be ignorant why they send analysts to your neighborhood and communities and social culture settings to study you, to see how you think, to get the data off of your phones, on your TV programs that you watch. And they have analysts and brainstorming people who go into a room and say, on a general, this community thinks like this. So we can put 50,000 liquor stores in that neighborhood, and they're not going to say nothing because they don't want to go to the general supermarket and get it $1 cheaper. They want to just walk right next door. So we can charge them for it. We know in this social culture setting with the white folks, they watch this kind of program. They believe exactly what the news and Fox Blues say. They don't try to research anything, so that's what they believe. So if you fail to influence them and show them difference, that's what they believe. You'll end up having to fight your neighbor on false premises. And that's what we're doing right now. America will destroy itself because you believe what a man says. How on earth can 74 million people believe this crook and go along with him unless you're crooked, you're racist, or you're full of buffoonery? You got to be one or the other. You're not thinking for yourself. You're like pigs going to a hog trough. That's how we get into this mess. This is for all nationalities, but mostly white because they have the power. And they're trying to keep it. They're not trying to share it because they know if this power gets shared, you will learn the true meaning of democracy. And you will fight more for it. So my thing is, first, is to dumb your kids before they get to be adults. So they will never learn the truth about this. This has nothing to do with the color of somebody's skin, their ethnicity, their gender. Has nothing to do with it. Yet we spend all of our time talking about 2 bathrooms and for these kind of people. We need to do this for this. That's foolishness. That's all it is. If you don't believe me, take me every man in America of different nationality and stand him in front of the mirror and see what you see. Take me to women, take a sample of all of them and stand them in front of the mirror and see what you see. They may have a little physical difference in their structure, but they are the same. They are the same because we are one race, the human race. But we allow these people with the buffoonery who cheats us to tell us what to do. Now think about this. We don't have no protests, no rioting, no calling Congress, none of this when the rich man takes our tax money and gives it to the already rich. Here's a man making $400 million a year and you give him a $400,000 tax break. But when it comes to giving a man who's starving with his family $600, you go crazy. And you believe in these people. You voted them in. Look how you just voted in Mitch McConnell, this guy in Alabama. These people are showing you right now that they are anti-constitution. You still don't believe it. Until, like the people in Germany didn't believe it. All these dictators in places now don't believe it. In Turkey, in the Philippines. They steal your freedom slow and make you a bigger slave than you already are. If you don't believe me, I'll challenge anybody out there, all my grandkids, to tell me where you free and where they go by this Constitution. You won't find not one part of this Constitution where our lawmakers go by letter for letter. Because it'll make you free. And they tell you that. You know what Donald Trump is famous for? Telling you something. With no facts or nothing. Know what you famous for? Being a fool and believing it. Somebody can tell you something over and over. That black man will kill you. That black man will kill you. He's a thief. That black man's a thief. And all the people who are stealing from you when you go down to the police department in your neighborhood is all Caucasian. But you don't run from them. They're the ones stealing from you. They steal from you in a different way. By telling you stuff through interest rate, let you get stuff, get in debt, hold you as a slave. You still a slave. Whether they got chains on me and interest rate on you, you still a slave. What else? You just have to train your children to study everything that affects them. Now, why would we have mayors in this city don't know what their police departments are doing? Black people, wake up. Just because you put a person up there with black skin don't mean that they're going to think for the public, regardless of what color you are. How is it that we got a mayor? We fire one mayor because he lets certain stuff happen. We hire another mayor and she's making excuses about what should have happened. How come you didn't know it happened? Because the police department is running these cities, not the mayors and not the city council. And that's on you. Defunding the police don't mean taking away the things that have them to be policemen. It's taking away them things that stop them from being Gestapo agents. Because that's what they are. Anytime a police department upholds a police officer killing a murder, you're a Gestapo agency and everybody in it. Because you go along with it. I don't care what color you are. You're doing the same damage. And until we correct that, all the way from the last man, the dog catcher, all the way up to the United States Senate. We got to recall these people, impeach these people, and throw them out of office. We got to make them put stuff on the ballot to control them. They putting stuff on the ballot to control us. That's ridiculous. Can't you see that? My children, my young people, don't allow this. You got to clean the bucket from the bottom up. You can't clean the bucket from the top down because the drugs from the cleaning falls to the bottom. But when you clean the bucket from the bottom up, when you get to the top, it's clean. Think about it. You don't believe me? Go wash your dishes and try to wash the last dish on the bottom and put it back. And see, don't it still end up dirty when you wash the top ones. You got to start at the bottom and clean everything up. When you get through, you done clean all of them out. By any means necessary. Don't let them take our freedom. What else?